The pharaohs of ancient Egypt held godlike status and ruled over a prosperous civilization. They lived lavishly, enjoyed luxuries like milk and honey, and commanded an empire unparalleled in their time. People dedicated their lives to constructing statues in their honor, and upon their deaths, they were interred in magnificent structures that continue to awe the world, enduring for over 4,000 years. Here is a countdown of 10 bizarre facts about the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. 10. Pepi II's obsession with pygmies. He became king of Egypt at the age of 6 and was fixated on a report from explorer Harkhuf about encountering a dancing pygmy. Intrigued by this, Pepi II urgently summoned Harkhuf to bring the pygmy to him, prioritizing its safety above all else. He instructed Harkhuf to ensure the pygmy's protection at all times, emphasizing the need for trustworthy men to guard him during activities and while sleeping, checking on him repeatedly throughout the night. This fascination highlighted Pepi II's youthful whims and desires despite his royal responsibilities. 9. Sesostris's giant genital monuments. A renowned Egyptian military leader, he expanded his kingdom by sending troops worldwide and marking his victories with large pillars inscribed with boastful messages and depictions of genitals. He left these monuments at battlegrounds, adding a unique detail. If the opposing army fought valiantly, he engraved a penis. If they didn't resist much, a vagina. These pillars endured for centuries, witnessed by Herodotus, even after 1,500 years in Syria, symbolizing defeated foes with engraved genitalia. 8. Pharos's urine baths. The story of Pharos, the son of Sesostris, revolves around his blindness, which was believed to be a curse from the gods, although it was likely an inherited disease. After 10 years, an oracle advised Pharos that washing his eyes with the urine of a faithful woman could restore his sight. Attempting this with his wife failed, leading him to gather urine from numerous women until finding one whose urine purportedly healed his blindness. He promptly married her and executed his previous wife. While the tale suggests a miraculous cure, it is improbable, likely serving as an embellishment to explain an unusual ritual or habit. 7. Hatshepsut's fake beard. One of Egypt's rare female rulers, she faced challenges due to the unequal treatment of women in her time. Determined to achieve greatness, she ordered depictions of herself as a man, sporting muscles and a full beard, and referred to herself as the son of Ra. This strategy allowed her to accomplish much during her reign, but her son later erased her from history to conceal her rule as a woman, an act that succeeded so thoroughly that her existence remained unknown until 1903. 6. Amasis's fart-based diplomacy. An impolite and unconventional pharaoh, he was known for his rude behavior and unorthodox tactics. He gained the throne through force and exhibited behaviors such as alcoholism and kleptomania. Rather than calming a rebellion as instructed, he joined the rebels and declared war on the king by farting in response to a messenger. Surprisingly, his crude actions led to significant reforms, as he punished oracles who had previously cleared him of guilt when he was a thief, believing their abilities were fraudulent since they didn't identify his guilt earlier. 5. Azans' city of noseless criminals. A ruler following the harsh reign of Amasis, he was overthrown due to his cruelty. Azans, an Ethiopian, led the revolution with a gentler approach. His innovative idea for punishing criminals involved cutting off their noses and banishing them to a town named Rhinocolora. This town exclusively housed noseless criminals, surviving in severe conditions with contaminated water and scarce resources. Despite its brutality by today's standards, during the 6th century BC, Azans' method was deemed benevolent, even earning praise from Romans as an example of his kindly manner towards his subjects. In that era, losing one's nose for breaking the law was considered a lenient punishment. 4. Ramses II's 100 children. A long-lived Egyptian king, he was known for his prolific building of statues and monuments, as well as his extensive relationships with women. With at least 9 wives, he fathered over 100 children, marrying multiple daughters and possibly even his sister. His desire for power and connections led him to demand marriage as part of peace treaties, showcasing his willingness to marry various women, including close relatives. His unconventional relationships and numerous offspring left a lasting mark on history. 3. Cambyses's hatred for animals. A Persian ruler who governed Egypt after its conquest, exhibited a deep-seated animosity towards animals. Despite not being Egyptian himself, numerous Egyptian narratives depicted him tormenting various creatures. One notorious incident involved Cambyses mocking the sacred bull Apis, revered by Egyptians as a deity, by cruelly stabbing it in front of horrified priests. His penchant for animal cruelty extended beyond nationalistic motives. He took pleasure in witnessing their suffering. In leisure moments, he organized brutal fights between lion cubs and puppies, delighting in the spectacle as they viciously tore each other apart, even forcing his wife to witness these gruesome events. 2. Akhenaten's city built on Brokenbacks. An Egyptian pharaoh radically transformed Egypt by instituting a monotheistic worship of the sun god, Aten, discarding the traditional polytheistic beliefs. His ambitious project included building a new city named Amarna, dedicated to Aten. However, this endeavor came at a great cost, with an estimated 20,000 workers enduring extreme hardships, resulting in widespread injuries, malnutrition, and brutal punishments for any attempts to seek more food. The skeletal remains found in the city's cemetery indicate that a vast majority of the workers suffered bone fractures, and a significant number had spinal injuries. Despite the immense sacrifices, Akhenaten's efforts were in vain as his legacy was systematically eradicated after his death, with his name expunged from Egyptian history. 1. Menkaura's refusal to die. An ancient pharaoh in the 26th century BC was told by an oracle that he had only 6 years left to live. Terrified of his mortality, he attempted to outsmart fate by avoiding nightfall. He believed that as long as night didn't arrive, a new day wouldn't begin, and thus time wouldn't pass, preventing his death. To achieve this, he stayed awake every night, illuminating his surroundings with lamps, fearing the moment when the lights would inevitably go out. Despite his efforts, Menkaura couldn't escape the inevitable, showcasing the human struggle against mortality despite the grandeur of his title and constructions.